It is possible that Portuguese Joe supplied Gassy Jack with dry goods from his brother in Massachusetts. There's some suggestion of that in the family archives. Nobody knows. He's definitely a contemporary of Gassy Jack. Let me tell you how Gassy Jack got here. Gassy Jack, nobody knows why it's called Gassy, because he gave great speeches or ate too many beans. He had a Globe Saloon in Westminster. In about 1867, Gassy suffered from bad knees. He went up to Harrison Hot Springs for his bad knees and left his Globe Saloon in charge of someone. And it was July 4th. He came back, and July 4th was a bigger holiday here than Canada Day, than July 1st. British Columbia didn't join Confederation until 1871. So he came back, and the saloon had been emptied and no money. So he had one barrel of whiskey left, and there you go, as you can see, standing on his whiskey barrel, not in very good shape. A young 12-year-old wife, I think he was 44. Remember I told you that the Hastings sawmill, which provided, for example, to Australia and China, was run by a Methodist who didn't allow drinking. So Gassy Jack comes with his whiskey barrel, bunch of thirsty sawmill workers 200 feet away, and he says, if you help me make my saloon, I'll pass this cup of whiskey around. It said the saloon was erected in 24 hours. And so, hence you have Globe Saloon. So Gastown was Gassy Jack at this corner, and Portuguese Joe and Gregory Fernandez at the other corner. And there are some contemporary photos of this one block, which was Gastown. On this side, there was a butcher block, the Sunnyside Hotel, but most of the development was on the other side. Now let me just touch briefly of the Great Fire of June of 1886, which burned down Gastown. On my left here is said to have been a small shed survived here, and it said that the first meeting of City Hall after the fire was held here. In the election of May 1886, two men ran for mayor, a man named McLean and the manager of the Hastings sawmill. The vote was very close. McLean won, I think, by 247 to 220. The manager of the sawmill made some comments, anti-Asian comments. They employed mostly Chinese workers and Aboriginal people, and the European population resented the Chinese population that was here. Kanakas, which are Hawaiian Aboriginals, were very severely discriminated, and there's very little history about the large Kanaka population that existed here. And so the population voted for McLean, and he became the first mayor of Vancouver. There were bad anti-Asiatic riots here in 1907, where the just east of here, Japantown and Chinatown was attacked by a mob of about 2,000 Europeans. Every window in Chinatown was broken. And our current drug laws stem from that time. Two main people in Gastown of Portuguese descent are Portuguese Joe Silvey, who operated the Hole in Wall, a contemporary of Gassy Jack. They have been a business partner of Gassy Jack, where his daughter, Elizabeth Silvey, born in Stanley Park, spent a lot of time, and Gregory Fernandez, who opened the first store in Vancouver. He's the first coffee roaster in BC, and they're kitty-cornered to each other. And they live, both Portuguese Joe and Gregory Fernandez, live in Brockton Point with Peter Smith, the founder of the whaling industry in BC. Although Peter Smith never actually lived in Gastown. By 1874, both Gregory Fernandez and Portuguese Joe are more or less finished with Gastown, and the Portuguese influence leaves. I don't know if Sonny wanted to add.
You know, like Joe Gonsalves took over the store for maybe a year or something like that, and then they all moved up island where Madeira Park and all those names will crop up.
And if you look at the balconies and the buildings around us, look at the building there in the Jack Chow, you see there's a recessed balcony. And look at the restored building at that corner. That building burned down. And again, it was restored by the noted architect Richard Enriquez. Look again at the recessed balcony. Now, the recessed balcony is only found in Vancouver Chinatown. It's not found in San Francisco Chinatown. And it's said that it originated in Macau. And there was a way for the Europeans, who were not used to the heat, to block out the great afternoon heat. Also in Chinatown, of course, even today, you can buy chicken with Portuguese sauce. And you can buy little yellow cupcakes that look like prestige nata in Chinatown.